No! God, please, no! 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 Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Ferdinand, the Tier 8 German Tech Tree TD. One of two, because there's the Egg Panther 2 as well. And if you haven't guessed by the title, as always, this is the third mark video for the tank, so these are the two games that lead up to and achieve the third mark of excellence. Now this first game that we're on Berlin is probably a pretty average game for the Ferdinand. It's what you'd expect from it, to be honest. It's just what you expect from it. It's a pretty solid tank. I quite enjoy it. I know a lot of people really don't. It's one of those tanks that does not, it really does not hold up to +2. Now the gun is amazing, but the armour is troll. It is not reliable in the slightest. It has Tiger P weak spots. The upper structure is good against tier 8s, but tier 9s and 10s can pen the superstructure easily. So it becomes a bit of an issue. But when you're top tier, the tank can be fantastic. And it is a lot down to that gun and the fact that you can sort of brawl a little bit with it, especially like this. Now this, that tiger shark must have cacked his pants, because he just drove around the corner and went, "Ah, nuts," as he drove into both me and Swindle, me and my Ferdinand, and him and his Bison, and he just died. There's no other way of putting it. He just died. Now, I take that hit from that Hydra in the middle, and I'm like, you know what? Easy shots. I'll hit him, pen him, set him on fire. Swindle didn't realise I'd stopped and fired at the Hydra, drove into us, and then unfortunately we both got hit by artillery, which meant that we both lost a lot of health there. I lost like... Wait, that artillery just did about 1800 damage in one hit, because he did about 800 to him and about the same to me, 700? Mental. But yeah, this tank has troll armour, and it's like I say, it's got Tiger P weak spots, so there's cheeks on the left and right hand side of the chassis, which are easily overmatchable, easily pennable for the most part, as well as the fact it's got a weak lower plate, right? But if people just take snapshots at this and hit the upper plate, they can ricochet, especially when you angle. And it's quite nice like that. The 50 TP just did it. He didn't really aim. He is also stock, which means he's got, what, 212 pen? Something like that. So, he wasn't always guaranteed to go through. So the Ferdinand can be quite good. But like I say, tier 9 and 10, not at all. Not at all. But yeah, I kind of enjoyed it for the gun. Now the Egg Panther 2 is probably... no, there's no probably about it. It is the better of the two. I've never played it myself because I never went up that way. I went to the Yag Tiger through the Ferdinand. And went that way, so I've never played it. But I think the mobility of the tank is basically better than the Ferdinand for the pure and simple fact that it can just get that gun around the battlefield a lot easier than this. Now obviously the gun is what is so fabulous about this tank, and it's exactly the same on the Egg Panther 2. So out of the two, the Egg Panther 2 is the better way to go, because the Egg Panther 2 is more mobile, and it just means you can get about with that gun way better. This is more of the brawly version, but like I say, it doesn't do as well when bottom tier. So that first game, like I say, it was short and sweet, but it was pretty much what this tank is decent at, and it's kind of the average game. And obviously we got caught out by the artillery, because it was like, oh, go kill the he's looking at, I'm dead. Right, that was good. But yeah, the team carried that through, and we ended up on 93.81, and that was the game directly before this one. So we're in a decent matchup again. I think the last one was a tier 9 game, which, like I say, it can be okay, but for the most part, like, the tier 9s having the tier 10 guns would just trash your armour. But this game's nice matchmaking. So we're on highway, and we're going to just use these TD ridges, basically, to try and put the gun to work and try and get some shots in. Like I say, when I'm in something like the Ferdinand, I am slightly confident of taking up a position like this because, you know, there's the possibility I could bounce something. And you can put the amazing gun to work, like slapping light tanks like that for 507. Because that's a great thing about this gun. Like the 490 Alpha, the 128 guns that the German TDs get, and the German heavies a bit later on as well. It's an amazing gun. And it really does slap hard, and it's very satisfying to use. So we shut down that Tiger Shark, and we are looking at the town. And there's a Roger Dodger there, right? And there's a heavy on H0 or J0, whatever it is. And I'm thinking, I want to try and keep to this position because I don't really want to be charging into the town. But there is only 2 of them down there, so it's kind of making me think I kind of want to go there. But I'm going to hold off. And there is some tier 9s. Because there's a Leopard PTA and there was the T-54 lightweight. We get a nice shot through that wall. I knew that just from looking at the map where that Leopard PTA was. He was on the side closest to us. So we could actually shoot through the wall and hit him in 5.42 was it? Or 5.24? Something like that. Anyway, the roll, juicy. Like I say, that's what's so good about it. But now is the time. This is what I was on about. Now is the time to go into the town and try and help. Now, the Patriot's running away. Our T-54E1 is rather outnumbered. And it's like, okay, I really need to get this gun into the game. So, we come around the corner, and there's a Bog Horror. It's like, okay, Bog Horror, let's just make a mockery of your armour. Slap the shell straight through the roof deck. I'm pretty sure I overmatched that. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that I can overmatch where his cupola is. You just have to quite hit it, 'cause it's the way it sort of angles up is a bit awkward. So we shut him down, and now we're going to help this Patriot in here and just drive through the destructible buildings and go, hello, Leopard PTA, do you remember my big gun? Hello, sir. Off with your head. That's a juicy arrow. It's just what you want to say. And we're going after the Roger Dodger. Roger Dodger's just like, oh, crap. It's like, hey, sir. How do you like 128s? Yeah, you don't like them, do you? No, I love them. So he's gone. And we're on to a good game already. There's still a lot left. And even though I'm a 93.81, I am thinking, if I get a couple more shots and I can push the assistance, because, you know, if I can do it right, I could get some decent juicy assistance as well by pushing this highway. I might be able to get the 3rd mark here, and then we spot the juiciest thing ever. It's a Type 4 heavy. Now you might be thinking, well, it's a Type 4 heavy, it's quite heavily armoured. Well, it's a 128 that I've got on this Ferdinand. If I just push the little button that's labelled A, the Type 4 heavy, instead of becoming an annoying tank that sort of I will pen probably every 3 out of 5 shells, it's probably 2 out of 5 shells, depending on the way it's angled, I will just pen it most times. So APCR's in, we can just go through the lower plate. Easily. He's fired. I know I've got a good rate of fire. I know that this guy is easily going to be wrecked by me. So I go for the tracks there because I think, can I track and pen this bloke? And no, I can't. He wasn't quite angled enough. So you know what, I'm just going to shoot through the lower plate. We're just going to take the damage. We managed to get a little bit more tracking on him as well from the Patriot and from something else shooting at him. And we are going to just finish him off. So we end up finishing him off, and we're on 4.5k damage, 1300 assistance. And it's kind of like, I might be on here. I don't quite know. And that was a nice brawl for this tank. That's what we wanted. Like, that Type 4 was isolated. He wasn't quite focusing on me. He was distracted with the Patriot, which meant that I could just farm him with the APCR, which is lovely. And a Type 4 is what you want to see when you're in a tank with this kind of gun and that kind of pen on the premium, because you can just wreck them and it's great. So there's just this SU-130PM left. There's artillery up at probably K1, no doubt, because that's where artillery always is. Well, it's either K1 or G1, that's where they are anyway. And I'm trying to swing to look to see if I can get a shell at this SU-130PM, because he is down in the dip, which is a little bit awkward for me to get to, because I'm not going to get a shot at him unless he drives up. So I'm like looking at him going, is he going to drive up? Is he going to drive up? And in hindsight, probably should have just left him, ignored him and gone, you know what, I'm going for artillery. and tried to beat this Patriot to it. Because, I mean, the Patriot is going to beat us hands down every time to get towards this artillery if he's at K1. So, the likelihood of me having any more chance of doing damage in this game is highly unlikely. But I am thinking there's a possibility. Because I think the third mark for this tank was about 2.7. Combined, we've done double that. Which means that I was confident I'd go over a percent. But would it be enough to go more than 1.3, you know? And we finished that game, lovely, like I say, lovely. We got, what, 5.8 combined? And there we go. High caliber, ace tanker, third mark of excellence, sniper. Like I said, it's about 5.8, 5.9k combined. And the Ferdinand can be a decent tank. But unfortunately, it's one of those that it's got to be in the right situation for it to be any good. And is it a good tank? Then no, not really, to be honest. The Jagdpanther 2 is the way to go. But it's one that I enjoy, and enjoying it is the best thing about it, really, to be honest, let's be honest. So, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.